Hey, what's up with it, y'all? It's your boy Amos Khan, and what we're going over today is reparations and the judgment of America. If you have been looking on the news lately, you might have seen them talking about California is trying to get a plan together to pay descendants of slaves reparations. Even Oklahoma, even where I'm from, St. Louis, they got something going on with reparations, and it all fits into biblical prophecy. But I want y'all to take a look at these few scriptures, and then I got a couple videos so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
The most significant step in American history toward granting its African-American descendants of slaves reparations.
It's substantiating the claim for reparations for the African-American or American freedmen community on the municipal, state, and federal level.
On Wednesday afternoon, the state government releasing the report of a task force formed by the state legislature to study the history of slavery, the state's sponsorship of it, and its costs on Californians today.
And we made the historic decision to affirm what we called lineage-based eligibility. So what that means is the community of eligibility will comprise of African Americans who are descendants of free and enslaved Black people who were living in the United States prior to 1900.
On Capitol Hill, House lawmakers are once again taking a look at the idea of reparations for African Americans.
They have reintroduced a bill to study the effects of slavery and develop solutions to bridge the economic, educational, and health disparities between descendants of slaves and white Americans. News Nation reporter Raquel Martin has more on this from Washington.
For the second time in 2 years, House Democrats discuss calls for reparations to African Americans.
The federal government must account for its ongoing role in perpetuating, supporting, and upholding white supremacy.
Missouri Democratic Congresswoman Cori Bush says for generations, the country has systematically disenfranchised African American families.
When white soldiers came back from fighting abroad, they were given housing preferences and education subsidies. My grandfathers, Ulysses and Clifton Blakeney, were denied those benefits.
So it is long overdue.
Kathy Masaoka says descendants of slaves deserve the same healing as Japanese Americans who were granted reparations after being forced into internment camps.
6 months old when the Tulsa Race Massacre happened. Tonight, Hugh Van Ellis, or Uncle Red, is 101 and one of 3 survivors suing officials in Tulsa, Oklahoma for one last chance at justice.
I'm lucky to be here. Lucky to be alive to tell this story. I didn't want to say this. It's been inside of me for a long time.
Tonight, winning a major victory. A judge ruling their reparations lawsuit will go to trial. Just a day before, supporters showed solidarity during a local prayer rally. Tulsa native Demario Solomon Simmons was there. He represents massacre survivors and descendants.
What exactly are survivors asking for?
We're basically stating very clearly that the massacre that happened in 1921 created a public nuisance.
Plaintiffs claim the public nuisance caused negative outcomes for survivors and descendants. Now they're seeking multiple forms of restitution.
One of the things we're asking for in our lawsuit is educational scholarships and grants because of the educational opportunity that was stripped and stolen away.
The 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre was sparked by a rumor that a Black man, Dick Rowland, had sexually assaulted a white girl, Sarah Page.
The official death toll was 37, but historians like Carlos Hill now say the attack on the Greenwood community by a white mob and officials likely led to 300 fatalities. The result, survivors say, generations of racial disparity, economic inequality, and trauma.
And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with their great substance. Chapter 3. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Cease cultivation. 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its yield, but in the 7th you shall let it rest and lie fallow. Free slaves. When you acquire a Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years. In the 7th year he shall go free without payment. Invite the poor to gather food from the land. Let the needy among your people eat of it. And forgive debts. Every 7th year, every creditor shall remit the due he claims from his fellow or kinsman, for the remission proclaimed is of the Lord. Thank you.
So this is another way of looking at just another way of mapping the concepts that we just read.
Yeah, I guess what's crazy to me is, how a lot of people say that black people ain't the real Jews. But if you look at what's going on with world events, ever since our 400th year anniversary in America, the world hasn't been the same. Slavery started in 1619. 2019 was our 400th year anniversary. Right after that, the whole world shut down due to the plague. Ever since then, they basically been ramping up the New World Order. And what people don't really realize is the New World Order is the shift from bondage from Jews to Gentiles, the real Jews, not the people over there in Israel right now. Those people are, a lot of them don't even know that they not the real Jews. But the Bible said that he would give people over to a great delusion. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. But take a look at this. This is what the bondage gonna look like. And I ain't trying to, be doom and gloom, but this is what's going on.
CNN is investigating potential mass detention centers in remote parts of China and getting some pushback, as you'd expect, from Chinese authorities. As many as 2 million Muslim majority Uyghurs are believed to be imprisoned in Xinjiang, according to the U.S. State Department, where they are allegedly being taught Mandarin and Communist Party propaganda. China claims they are just vocational training centers. When Matt Rivers' report on the camps aired on China, on CNN, well, as you see there, the screen went black. CNN was allowed back on after the piece aired. As Matt Rivers explains, Chinese authorities made his investigation into these camps very difficult.
I said, no, you're getting taken away and you have no choice. You're going to Howard Springs. You either come with us now and we'll put you in the back of the divvy van, or you can have a choice to get a COVID cab. So, of course, I chose the COVID cab because they said, well, if we're to take you, we're going to hand you a $5,000 fine. So, of course, I didn't want that to happen. So I just said, look, I don't consent to this. I don't understand why I can't just self-isolate at home like a lot of other people are doing. And they just said, we've just been told from higher up where to take you, and that's all that there is.
So Howard Springs is the biggest COVID camp in Australia, isn't it? It's a huge network of cabins that is built to house potentially infected people.
Yeah, so they are literally bringing in now hundreds of people that are of close contact.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I'm doing is verifying that you have it. You got 2 different purchases. Okay. If you have them, I'm out of here. That's how quick it is. Yeah. Do you have them with you by any chance? Are they? If you can unload them and bring them out, or you can go out to your foyer here, check them out, like serial number, and we're out of here.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, it'll take 5 seconds. The reason we're out here is we're obviously gun violence has been an uptick, so we want to make sure we have enough issues with straw purchases. So one of the things indicators that we get is somebody makes a large gun purchase, and then a lot of times we've been there like, oh, those guns got taken. We're like,
so the idea is when you purchase more than 2 guns at a time, it generates a multiple sale report. And it comes to us and we have to check them out. That's all that is. You did nothing wrong. Did absolutely zero. I noticed that you were stopped in Philly though, right? With one of your guns?
we'll wait. Do you feel more comfortable?
I'm okay. I didn't expect.
Oh no! Listen, it just came up. I'm telling you. That's why we came here. Look, there's an email from the federal side saying, hey, can you make sure this guy's got his gun? Now, if you recently just purchased a whole bunch of guns, if we can look at them and just scratch them off, and that way, because I know we don't see this list again.
Yeah, we can just write which ones you just bought, and so we save a trip from coming back and confirm that you have them.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll go get them.
Okay.
Okay.
We will wait out here.
Okay.
We will stay out here.
Okay.
You can lock yourself in there.
My little boy in there in my way.
No. Listen, I understand. We'll stay out here. No big deal.
That's fine.
All right.
We'll stay out here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm playing.
While the tragic tales of Biggie and Pac, Big L or Jam Master Jay, and the culture of beef in hip-hop meant that it was always a possibility, hip-hop now treats tragedy as an inevitability and is so common that on the 18th of June in 2018, we lost XXXTentacion and Jimmy Wapo in the same day. Now, in 2020, we've seen the deaths of Pop Smoke, King Von, Mo 3, Mac P Dog, and D Dave, while Boosie Badass and Benny the Butcher have narrowly escaped shootings with their lives.
Yeah, and if you're already aware, we dropped an indictment not that long ago against YFN. It is certainly a tool that I believe in, which is using RICO. The reason that I believe in it as a tool is it allows juries and the communities to see the complete picture of a crime so they can truly be educated and have facts to weigh when they're making decisions. And so if you're asking, should you expect to see other RICO indictments against other street gang organizations? Absolutely.
Yeah, now this is another thing. Okay, it's actually this year is the year of Shmita. Now, in Hebrew customs, the Hebrew tradition, whatever you want to call it, in the year of Shmita, all debts have to be paid. Now, if you remember me earlier, I was talking about, the reparations being paid. That's why they talking about these reparations being paid, because it's a spiritual law that they have to be paid, and we are the only people in the world that fit the prophecy. But I guess the crazy part for me is how America say that they such a Christian nation. But whenever you ask some people about, do black people deserve reparations, they say, well, I ain't had nothing to do with it. That was so long ago. But yet, the people of the Bible didn't get paid their reparations until 400 years or so, you thought. Now that the Bible is opening up, some people are starting to wake up. And I ain't one of them Hebrew Israelite people that say white people can't be saved or nothing. Because we as Hebrews are supposed to be the light of the world. White people can't be grafted in. But the crazy part with me is that white people think that they got enough money to pay us. It's not you, bro. It's a group of 13 families that made a large amount of money off of slavery. The world is not all about white people. And I think that's state pride. And I ain't talking about nobody. It just is what it is. Like when we talk about our reparations, they instantly say, well, my people wasn't a slave owner. Well, obviously we ain't talking about you. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, man, I can't make you believe all I do is need a breadcrumb.
Sandwiches?